Good. All right, we're live. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
I feel like I get worse at this every single time. We're back. I'm Trynda. I'm gonna let everyone introduce themselves this time because I feel horrible at it. So I'm Trynda, Technology and Communications Director of the Lake Winnipeg Writers Group, and I'll go with Tanya first.
Hi, I'm Tanya. I'm a writer. I publish with Voices, which Lake Winnipeg Writers Group is responsible for twice a year. Yes, and I have also published an ebook, and I'm working on the second one. I'm so close. And on to you, Brendan.
Hi, I'm Brendan. I am the treasurer and membership director for Lake Winnipeg Writers Group.
Oh, there you go. And I'm working, I guess I should say I'm working on stuff. I'm always working on stuff. I've been redoing my website. I'm not writing as much as I should be. Because that's my favorite line ever. So I have more or less decided to jump ship on Patreon. So I'm setting up subscriptions on my website instead for people who want it.
Nice.
Yeah. So I am working on writing too a little bit. I got Save the Cat the other day, an audio version from Audible. So I'm excited. I've been listening to that. I'm going to try and do some of the exercises. I got to download the PDF still, but I don't know. I'll figure it out as I go along. I don't know. What have you guys been up to this week?
Yeah, I just got back some peer edits from Red Snow, which is ebook number 2, short story. So my next step is I'm going to try this beta reader thing on that Facebook group and see if I can get some beta readers.
Oh, okay.
And what's that?
I said that'll be good.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that and see how many people we get that way. And then from there, I guess I'll be on to figuring out my cover art. I left the best for last. So,
are you going to go with the same cover artist, or are you going to make it yourself or attempt to?
I'm on the fence right now. It's hard to invest in cover art right now because I don't know what my full-time job's going to do. Like we're still open right now, but that could change with the COVID stuff. So I'm afraid to spend any money.
That's totally fair, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, I've got the software, so I think I'm going to try the software out and see if I can figure it out. And if I feel a little overwhelmed or whatever, then I'll buy one more cover art from somebody for now until I can, learn it a little bit better. But I mean, there really is no rush. I'm just excited, so I kind of want to get it out there,
Is it like a mixture of like actual like pictures and 2D art, or is it just 2D?
I don't have anything yet. Are you talking about the software or the actual because I don't have a cover design at all yet?
No, I'm just thinking about the cover design, not the software.
Oh yeah, no. All I want is I'm looking for like footprints, a woman's footprints in the snow, like at night, and then blood kind of trickled around.
Oh, okay.
And then it says, it's Red Snow. So.
You're a few months too late. You could have gone and taken that picture yourself.
I know, and I planned to with my sister, but then things started happening with the COVID, and then we never got together because she has like a professional camera and she's really into photography. So that was the plan. So yeah, I'm on the fence. I'm not sure.
I mean, maybe you could. I guess you could always make snow. Can you make snow in a freezer? Maybe you can't make snow in a freezer as I'm saying that.
You can make ice and then put it in a blender.
Yeah, there you go. You just make some snow in like
true.
a foot bath bucket or something.
But I want to learn. I want to learn the way to draw and do like actual graphic arts.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's really easy. Like, because I can make this picture by painting or drawing it on my own. Because I'm into art and that. But doing it like on the screen might be a little bit different.
Have you tried Inkscape?
No.
It's free software.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Google name Inkscape, you said?
Inkscape, yeah.
Inkscape.
Inkscape. Okay.
Definitely on the wrong website. No, but it wasn't a bad site. To clarify, it was just not the right site. Oh, salt, maybe.
So I did buy software. So I do have the software to make the art. I just have to learn how to use the software and then I can do it, hopefully. But for me, it's the time and the patience to actually learn to use it properly.
I'm not sure. I've heard of this one before. Vector graphics editor. The one I always use is GIMP.
In what?
GIMP is
GIMP.
another link in here too. It's kind of like Photoshop. It's been around forever.
Okay.
A lot of people, and it's free. That's why, and it's got lots of extensions. It's probably, I think it's very similar to Inkscape by the looks of it. I'll
have to check those both out.
Oh.
Maybe to start with, it'll be easier than the actual software. And maybe this is just going to take some practice. I mean, the thing is, it's just a short story, right? So I don't want to invest a lot on it because I mean, Red Leaves, I got lucky because he was willing to do the first one for free, but Red Snow, I have to pay for that one. And it seems he's reasonable on the price, but I know I'm not getting a whole lot of income from my writing yet. So I don't want to invest in something that I'm not going to be able to get back.
No, that's totally fair. That's kind of like me in the audiobook. I still don't know. I'll go check. I don't think anything has progressed with the audiobook, so there's nothing to report at this time. Womp womp. Womp womp womp.
I went through my sticky sentences, and I cut them over half, but I still have over 40%.
Holy smokes!
Wow! So
it's good to notice that, right? Like that's what I like about that stuff is you kind of can at least see.
I forgot about that.
Sorry.
So now I'm going to read them out loud, like the whole short story, and try and correct what doesn't sound right. And my plan is to send it to Scribendi for a second go, probably next weekend or so.
Nice.
That's a good idea.
That's pretty good. Like for a timeline and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I will do some writing at some point. See, I even have. I totally look like I know what I'm doing. Wonderful.
So, Brendan, what software do you write in?
What software?
Yeah.
Either Microsoft Word or I use Freehand.
Okay.
And I have dabbled with Quark.
Quark
Express.
Quark.
Okay. I've never heard of that.
I don't know if I've heard of that one either.
So I learned this week that Word has a speech capability. So there's a hidden command that you can manually add to your ribbon, and it's actually called speech or speak or something like that. So anyways, you add it to your ribbon manually, and you highlight the section you want it to talk or you want it to read out loud, and your computer or laptop or whatever you're writing on will actually say it out loud in a man or a woman's voice.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
I used it today, and I'm still using it. And I found an additional, after using Grammarly, which I'll talk about after, I found an additional 3 errors in every chapter, but just by listening to it.
There's Quark for you guys.
Quark. Quark.com.
Kind of interesting. It looks like they've got graphic stuff too, which is kind of neat. So, I mean, you could always check out that too for stuff, unless I'm on the wrong site again.
No, that's the right site.
Okay. Oh, it's kind of neat page layouts and stuff.
So I wanted to ask you, Brendan, about your Grammarly. Do you have the full month by month payment version?
I used to have it. I deleted it last weekend.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Well, I've been using Provider's Aid, and it's superior to Quark. I was paying like almost $40 a month for Quark for Grammarly.
Really?
Yeah, because I was
It's
paying
saying
month to
right now
month.
it's 11.66. It's $11.66 or something.
Is that for an annual subscription?
Oh
Yeah.
no, that's monthly.
Yeah, you might get like a discount when you buy.
When you either pay it for the full year or else, like I was paying by month, and my bill was like $40 that month.
Holy smoke, that's crazy. And I don't know if I customize Grammarly as well as some people have, but I don't think it's as geared towards like creative writing per se.
No, it's just checking your writing for spelling errors and grammatical errors, and it's nowhere nearly as functional as Pro Writing Aid.
Well, I guess I should have put another link for Pro Writing. We're just
the one I forgot.
We should put a disclaimer. We are not sponsored by any of these companies or tools that we're plugging here. We just really like these things, and we want to make sure that people get tools that really help them. Because if you can do it yourself, then why not, right?
Yeah, because with Pro Writing Aid, I paid $70. Well, it's 100 and something Canadian, and that would be like 2, maybe 3 monthly installments with Grammarly.
There you go.
And that does me for the whole year.
That's a whole so you have to pay an annual fee then?
You can do the annual fee, or you can pay for it outright. $240 American.
Oh, that's nice. They still have that option though.
Yeah.
When I bought the lifetime subscription, which is basically just buying it outright, it was the last time they said they were going to do it for a while, and I got it for $100. I'm like, yes.
Whoa.
It was so
That's
cheap.
good.
Like, it was like, I don't know, 10 years ago or something. It was a while ago. So it's good you can outright buy it, because I'm not a big fan of subscription stuff.
No, I'd rather buy it and then have it and then never have to think about it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's that $240 US. It's pretty much like 3 years worth at once, and then you don't have to pay for it ever again.
And you should get that upgrades too.
Do they have a free trial option, or
7 days? 7 days.
Well, and it is free to use. The editor itself is free to use, I'm pretty sure. Oh, let me just double check before I say that. I'll log off. I'm pretty sure you can try it with the app on like the web page, unless they've changed that. Oh, maybe I'm lying.
And it's more geared for Windows users than opposed to for Mac.
That's good. I'm a Windows user.
Yeah, I commented on your post the other day, and I was trying not to be salty about my Mac and how much I disliked it near the end. How it cannibalized itself on me, and it made me so sad. I am not sure if Pro Writing Aid has a free tier anymore. I'm pretty sure it does, though. Try it free now. There you go. Hold on. All right, I found the link. Took me some poking around. Here is the link you want. If you want to give it a go. There you go.
I don't know what my computer's doing here. It's doing its own thing.
Yeah, you're going like from bright to dark, dark to dark.
Oh, you know what? That's because my blinds are open. It for some reason it always does that in this room.
It's the aliens invading.
It's my glowing personality. Maybe I'll try closing it and see if it stops.
So yeah, I mean, go give it a try. You can try it for free. You get all sorts of stuff. You can't customize it, I think, the same way. In the settings, you can't. Oh, popping stuff out. Yeah, you can customize it a little bit in the free version. So you just can't save the settings, basically, because I don't think you get an account with that link.
Because sometimes when you get into an error, it says you could either like ignore it or disable it, like for good? Is that disabling it for that just the one writing piece that you're working on, or is that entirety through it whenever you put up a new?
I think it's just for that one piece, and I think if you rerun, like if you ignore it, if you rerun it, it'll pop back up. But if you disable it, I think it's just for that one chunk.
Okay.
I want to say.
I'll have to try that then.
Yeah, you gotta, because I always love editing software because it always flags my name as being wrong. So it's like, man, I'm gonna disable this. So I don't know. It's one of those things. I don't usually need it only disabled in one spot, but because then I just ignore it otherwise. But ignoring can be kind of a pain in the butt if you keep rerunning a report, like I do sometimes. Then you just have to keep ignoring it. So definitely check that out. It's handy. I use it all of the time. I don't really submit things without running it through that at least once or twice. I can see how you could get like paralysis kind of I don't know, like I find that I can get over analytical when I'm using that, and that might be a trap that some people can fall into potentially.
Like picking it over all the time, like constantly.
Yeah, you could be careful about over editing, I think, with those tools, because you can almost chop pieces to death sometimes, and it almost doesn't make sense if you do it too much. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Trying to find get a link for Tyra here. She may join us on YouTube.
Woohoo!
She may join us on YouTube.
Started watching the 7th season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine? I don't think I've ever watched that before.
No?
No, I don't think. It's a comedy, right?
Yeah.
Hey, the Pro Writing Aid is on sale today for 25% off, $180 lifetime subscription.
Oh, there you go. So if you want to get in on a good deal, I think that's for the premium, right? Let's throw that link back up there.
Oh, I don't know if I have the money for that right now.
Well, that's the only problem. I keep suggesting all these things I've just like accumulated over 10 years. Like, oh, I bought this thing and I bought this thing. I didn't buy all these things all at once. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to find a way to replace. I know you can't completely, but I want to replace having to hire an editor, at least for now, until I get out there more. So things like this are helpful because, you know, like Grammarly and whatever free versions you can get, because it just kind of gets you started and watches for the minor errors without having to spend lots of money.
Well, and I think that's good for kind of like short stories and stuff. If you do a collection, then it's good for that, to have like a person read it over, bigger pieces. But for a short story, just a one-off, it's kind of get it to good enough and then figure it out later.
Sorry, I choked on my tea. It went down funny. Okay, anyways, good. I'm alive. Right on.
Well, so Tanya was also asking the other day in one of the groups we're in on Facebook about video editing, because I get the feeling you may be doing more videos on your YouTube channel.
Eventually, yeah. But it just right now I've been using like Snapchat to make the filters because I'm doing like silly videos about writing, so it's not so boring and monotonous.
Yeah.
But the thing is they're very short videos. So I thought, you know, if I could get a proper editor, then I can kind of start merging the short clips together and kind of make a bigger video rather than just doing it super short.
Yeah. Did you find any half decent free alternative? Well, I guess not alternative, but
Not yet. Like there is one on my Surface, but it's not like it doesn't do a whole lot.
it just
You can just
kinda
get like a title page. Yeah, you can get a title page and little effects in the background, and that's it. So
I searched for so long to find something like iMovie because that's the main reason I used my Mac for so long was iMovie, and then it was like, everything's so overly complicated. I'm like, I just want to do jump cuts and nothing crazy.
yeah, exactly.
Pictures in here every now and again. I don't know. I might do a video. I shot a video before we started this, and we'll see. I don't know. I feel like I'm so cringy these days. So rusty. But there is a whole sphere of authors that are on YouTube as well, called author tubers. For anyone who doesn't know, I don't even know how I connect to a full list. There's so many of them out there.
Yeah, that group that you invited me to, that kind of surprised me. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a group just for all, authors on YouTube. That's crazy.
I feel like it's its own it's its own community, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a public thing so much. I've been a part of it for a while. That's kind of how I got into YouTube in the first place. It's kind of like BookTube, if you've heard of BookTube. I don't know.
No.
I spend too much time online. So BookTube is basically, it's like readers reviewing stuff a lot of the time, I guess would be a good way to put it. People who live stream and make it a thing of like reviewing books and kind of doing journalism and stuff. So that's a big thing on YouTube too, is BookTube. So if you're into certain genres, it's good to find someone who's kind of into your thing. Find a book.
Monkey boy.
Here's the AuthorTube Reddit page. I don't know if I'm on the Reddit page. I should be on the Reddit page though, if I'm not. Oh, there's an official list of AuthorTubers. I'm probably not on this either. But I should probably be on this one. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just trying to see if I can get the light to stop doing
Tyra's
what it's
here! I see people! Tyra's here!
You saved me!
Yay!
I had to find my glasses! I couldn't read the fine print!
For those of you who don't know, this is Tyra. She is the publishing exec for the Lake Winnipeg Writers Group. And does all sorts of stuff.
All right, thank you, sweetie, for saving me. All right.
Do I need a Google? Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking from the comments. I would have sent you a different link. I'm sorry. Sorry. All the confusion. How are you?
I'm good. I'm here finally. Took me forever. Hi, Brent.
Hello.
Hi, Tanya. Hi, Trynda.
Hello.
Yes, I'm here. Took me a long time, but I'm here.
That's good. Have you been working on writing stuff recently? Actually, I guess we should get Tyra to give a proper introduction of kind of what she's up to.
What am I up to?
Yeah, what are you up to?
I had to find these so I could read this because I typed it in multiple times. Wrong. And there was something in there I'd missed. An L was actually an I. Anyways, so yes, getting old as you watch. Then discovered I'm in the wrong browser, apparently. So then Curtis came upstairs like, oh, good God, just move. And fixed it.
Thanks, Curtis.
Yeah, so, yeah.
So, and that face you made about your writing?
Okay, I'm in a small house with 5 adults.
We are not.
They're not adults.
No, of course not.
Okay, I'm the only adult in a house of 5. Let's see. Oh, that's what I should find is the marker. That's much more fun. Okay. Okay, yes, and yeah. So I was supposed to be finishing a bunch of stuff, editing a bunch of stuff, and doing a bunch of stuff. And no, it hasn't been happening. I've been very stressed, and I don't know. You guys are coping with the thing that shouldn't be mentioned, but
The elephant in the room.
yes,
Everything's fine. It's
Yes.
fine.
and
It's fine.
I'm actually doing really good. I had a great dream last night that woke me up, and instead of getting up at 2 or 3, I got up at 10 to 4. So that was a nice change.
Oh, good.
That's good.
That's
I
something.
had, I had a 4-hour block of sleep, so I am very happy today.
That's good. I like 4-hour blocks of sleep. I've been getting a lot of those recently.
Good.
I also had a weird dream the other night, which I can't remember, but I remember it waking me up. And I think the wreath on my front door fell off and woke me up too. I was like, what?
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, just added stress.
I have a woodpecker, and every time his little block of I buy these blocks for woodpeckers. Every time it runs out, he goes and woodpecks on my window. He's trained me to refill it.
Wow.
At least he's not pecking at your house, I guess.
Oh, he's putting holes in the siding.
My 11-year-old went through the house this morning and turned all the lights on in the hallway and started trying to wake his little brother up at 5:40 a.m.
Oh my God.
I know, I was so looking forward to sleeping in. That did not happen. And then he finally goes downstairs, turns off the lights again and goes downstairs. And then he let the cat upstairs. So he's pacing the kitchen, meowing constantly. And then there's the birds outside. The birds kept chirping. I'm so glad it's spring. You know, but here I am.
It's 5:30 this morning. There were a squirrel fight going on. There was the woodpecker. There was geese. There was a blue jay having a fight with somebody, or just having a bad morning, and the coyotes were yipping.
Nice.
Wow.
They're going,
You have a whole symphony.
yes, I'm like, the quiet country. Shut up! The real reason coyotes get shot in the country isn't because they cause damage. It's because they have little groups. They get together and they then have choruses and they just keep going. And that's the real reason. They start at 5 in the morning, lose it. Everyone thinks it's another reason, but no, they're just too bloody noisy.
I had a woodpecker on my tree outside the balcony. That was from Tiffany. That's exciting. I don't think I've seen a woodpecker at my house. There was the neighborhood cat was in my yard this morning. And he kind of looked at me. He's like, I'm like, whatever, dude. You can live underneath my sunroom. You can keep the bunnies out of my yard. I'm totally cool with that arrangement. Because I think he might be under my sunroom because the bunnies were under there for a while. And I saw him like run back there last night, I think. So I'm like, whatever. You know what? That's a problem I don't want to have to deal with because I don't want to have to kill a bunny if I don't have to. I almost like mulched them with the lawnmower last year by accident. So they were like this close. I ran over the hutch and then I'm like, what is all that fluff? And I went like, what? And there's all these bunnies. I'm like, you guys are so almost close to being dead.
Yeah.
I took a big chunk of mud out because I didn't even notice it was there.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, GTFO, guys. I just kind of left the fluff out and they vacated somewhere else.
Good.
And then I filled it with dirt after they were gone. I'm like, no, I'm not okay with this. So I'll take the cat over unless he's shitting in my bed.
What?
I don't know. I've heard of cats like shitting in people's gardens and stuff.
Oh, yes. I thought you meant your bed.
No.
That's what I thought too.
No. Garden beds. Definitely garden beds.
So who's writing and what are you guys writing? Oh,
Remember, I showed the book earlier. It's sitting here. I've been writing more like editing and reading and trying to unstuck myself because I'm stuck figuring it out. I don't know.
Yeah,
So,
I'm working on Red Snow.
was that?
I've been working on Red Snow.
Good.
So it's almost ready for ebook, but I'm going to get some beta readers and stuff. Very close.
Brendan?
I'm editing the find right now.
Excellent. Excellent.
Brenda's probably the most productive of us. Is that safe to say?
Good. Good.
I don't know. I mean, I got Save the Cat the other day, audio version, and I'm going to try and do some exercises for Save the Cat. And I got to show you guys. I'm so excited about these books. I don't know why I didn't move them closer. It's all the chaos. I got this.
Blood on the page.
There's the subtitle. Oh, there we go.
Writer Cranium of Injuries. Excellent.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, then the other aspect to that.
Yes. Excellent.
Yeah. So I'm super excited about those. So hopefully maybe that'll get me unstuck too. I should find some links on Amazon about those. So basically,
Tiffany has some Chris too.
Working on a kid series based on one of my stuffed animals.
Cool.
Trying to figure out who she is right now. Oh, that's kind of interesting.
That is.
I remember reading when I was little one of my favorite series. It was oh man, what's the name of it now? The Little Dollhouse, I think. It was about dolls coming to life.
I read a horror like that once.
It's not horror. This is a kid's book.
Yeah, it was given to me as a kid. It was a mistake. It turned out. It had a pretty cover, but I think the face is staring out of the dollhouse window. You know, like, but yeah, they can't escape the dollhouse, and it's getting hotter and hotter. It was really interesting. Yeah, they all wake up in the dollhouse and they can't get out.
Wow.
Yeah. It takes them a bit to realize it's not a real house when they start realizing you can't open things. And yeah, it was okay. It was a good story.
That's
I was
interesting.
I was 12. It left an impression. I don't see anything over there. I'm not supposed to, right?
That is for people hanging out in the comments and stuff. And I can.
But I don't see. It says I don't see
Press on live comments.
live comments. Okay, I can do that.
Oh, I was gonna say comments because I don't say it's just the comments.
Okay.
Dolls are never a good thing. No, dolls are not usually a good thing.
Hey, Curtis's sister used to collect those porcelain face little dolls. Yeah, I hated those. They were creepier than
I have a bunch of those.
the ones that look like real people. Ooh.
Well, just the ones with the porcelain faces and the arms, and then the rest of their body is a little bit softer, and they have stands and they're collectibles.
Yeah, she collected those free dolls. Yeah,
But that's from when I was a kid. I haven't collected any since I, grew up. I don't know if I ever really grew up, but when I got older, I stopped.
Dolls are never a good thing.
I cannot find this book to save my life. It's lost to the ether before the internet, probably.
Did you ever make a mop doll? Those are cool.
No.
Like Raggedy Ann?
Similar, but it's all like a mop, right? It's like a mop head, and it's shaped into a face and a body, and you put it in this little wicker chair, and then you can hot glue lace around the chair and decorate the doll in any way you want.
Okay.
I've never heard of that.
You get items from the person and you stick them to it, and then you tie it with string. Then you
No,
get
not
needles.
a voodoo doll.
And and then you paint red on a plastic knife and jab it through their torso.
Wow.
Just joking.
I'm looking at mop dolls. You could probably make them into voodoo dolls. They're not far off. If you weave some hair into there.
Sorry.
Yes. Well, yes.
I
So
can't find
writing.
any of
So
these
writing.
I give up.
So everybody is working on something writing though, right? Yeah, I see nodding. but it's like a serious nod. Okay. All right.
I have been submitting things. I guess I should mention that. Here, we'll plug the regular places that we've been plugging the last few times. I've been submitting some stuff. I was accepted a little 100 word story to Black Hair Press for their Ancient Dark Drabbles.
Excellent.
I submitted another thing. Yeah, I can't remember the place now. It starts with an A. Then I recorded it because I always record stuff in the submission grinder, not grinder, and Literarium.
So does it go up or does it go down? What's the newest one?
The newest one is at the bottom, so it'll go up.
Okay.
So we'll start with the submission grinder. We'll put it up on screen here for people. So that's the submission grinder. That's a handy one. I find different stuff on different places, so it's good to check both.
Now you see it says the grinder. Now when I tried to put that one out before, there was a mistake. I again apologize for that.
Do not make that mistake. Those are very different things.
Yes, I did not know. My eyes are opened. Okay.
Did you get calls for submission?
I got what?
Did you get calls for submission on the other grinder?
No. And I didn't know there was another one because Tyra lives in her own little world. So I'm telling people go to the grinder. Go to grinder. You're going to get like story submissions there.
I mean, you probably could get story submissions if you asked for them.
Yes. Yeah, you were there, right, Tanya?
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I think Tanya and actually weren't you all there when that happened?
In class?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I think so.
He has that serious face going, oh God.
Oh, I just missed something in the conversation, I think.
That's okay.
Good.
Yeah. So there's that one. So, you check that one out. It always has different stuff from Literarium, I find. So it's good to check both, recorded both. And then there's also Literarium. Put that link on the screen as well. And
I've never
what's that?
I've never submitted there.
That one, it's not really, you don't submit there. You just kind of keep track of what you submit there. And it's pretty similar to Grindr. I've noticed a few kind of pop up on both. So I think it's just who knows about what. So it's good to check both. I submitted to a place called Analog. I submitted that
Sci-fi.
weird sci-fi story I wrote. That's what I submitted there. I don't know if it'll... it's
I got
weird.
their mic for years.
I have a feeling that story will sit for a while until it finds the right spot.
What about Raylan.com?
Oh, yeah.
Raylan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like it.
We gave a disclaimer early on that not to be intimidated by the look of the site.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, we'll put a link on the screen as well for Raylan. I'm not sure. They do have. Oh, sorry, go on.
I don't know how to say it.
I don't know. I don't know how to say most things when I read them. So
Raw land. Raw land.
Oh man.
I like it. We'll go with that.
Semi-pro. So yeah, they've got all sorts of places to submit there as well. And yeah, the website looks like it's not getting updated that much, but the content is new. So definitely worth checking out. What was the other one? Oh man. Weedsy, I guess. Did a whole bunch last week of places to submit to. I should have saved my list. If I was smart, I would have. We got Reedsy. There's also Canadian authors. I should look up too.
I may get pounced any minute. Oh no, he's left. Okay.
I don't see the contents place on Reedsy's far. Well, and there's also I don't know. I'm in a few groups on Facebook too that kind of aggregate calls for submission. People kind of post there and stuff. I think there's probably a Reddit too, which I should look for.
I can't figure Reddit out. I know weird stories that are horrible.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff on Reddit. I'll admit that.
Have you guys put yourself on Goodreads and applied for author pages?
Yes, I actually have a Goodreads.
I was on there before it was bought. I haven't really been on there since it was bought. So,
And I don't think it's really changed a lot from what I've noticed, because I was on there before it was bought too. I don't know if they're dedicated author pages, because they're kind of, well, I got an author dashboard. I don't know.
Yeah, I went through, and I guess because Tomato Slices was added on there and I had my maiden name, they already had linked me to the book,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't an actual author page. So then I went in and I had changed my name to my married name. And then I went in and added Red Leaves, so that, because you have to manually add it if it's not automatically uploaded by other companies or whatever. So I went and I added it and I linked myself and applied as an author. But because I had already submitted the Tomato Slices story as an author name, they overwrote my actual name with my maiden name and wouldn't link me to my Red Leaves. So then I had to go through customer service and say, hey, I'm actually Tanya Stephenson. I'm not, my maiden name anymore. And I want to be linked to my new book, so I'm not going to be using it anymore. So then they emailed me back and says, okay, well, we only allow one author name per user. But what we can do is we'll add a note that, whichever name you choose is a secondary author name that you can, that you've also published under this name. Mm-hmm. But if you actually want to use both names on your dashboard, then you actually have to have two separate accounts.
That's
Weird.
Kind of weird, yeah.
So I emailed them back and I said, okay, just go with my, with Tanya Stephenson and just put that little note previously published under, and then we'll just leave it as is. I don't care, because I'm not going to be printing under my maiden name. So.
Well, no, exactly. Yeah, I guess I don't know I have no idea how it works now that Amazon bought it, because I don't know, it was weird beforehand. Like, some of the stuff was kind of janky. It's still kind of janky a little bit, where you kind of jump through hoops to figure out how to add stuff. And then there's something to do with librarians, and they can add stuff and change stuff. But I don't know who's the librarian or how you become a librarian. I don't know. I mostly use it for just tracking what I read, not so much.
Say hi.
Yeah, that's what I use it for too.
Trynda, say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. No, it's just shy. Oh.
Go.
Oh, she's out of here. That's it. Too much stress for her.
My Cato is sleeping on the bed. Because he's worked very hard this week.
He's worked hard?
Yep.
What did he do?
Cat's worked so hard.
No.
He's had to put up with me all week.
I will be right back with some books.
I like to look at books. Yeah, I've been listening to Save the Cat, and it's been pretty good. I've been kind of inspired a little bit to maybe work through an outline a little bit, get a better idea of maybe what I'm writing. Maybe it's less of a thriller and more of a mystery. I don't know what I'm doing.
Says every writer in the
I feel like when I started writing this, I knew what it was, and now I definitely don't know what it is. It's just some kind of weird thing that morphs as I chop it and change it and get different ideas, and it's never the same 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
Has anyone started? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. Go ahead.
Has anyone started writing something, but it was actually the end of a book rather than the beginning?
I actually, this book I wrote backwards forwards. So I started with the epilogue, and then I wrote the climax, and then wrote that way, which might be why it's kind of choppy. It doesn't flow super well. I don't know why I did it that way. I just like, this would be a neat idea. But try it. I don't know.
Define epilogue.
Epilogue? Yes. The ending? The thing that comes after? The epilogue?
Yes.
It's tying up loose ends. It's not really like directly related to the whole. Well, it's related to the whole arc, but it's not like a chapter. Usually, there's a time jump, or it's like different characters and like a different kind of setting, indirectly related kind of thing.
And it's different if it's a series where you're if it's a standalone book, that ending will be something that happens years later. Like in the Harry Potter series, there's Harry and his wife and their kids, their son, going toward they're on the platform for that train, right? It's in the book. Yes, I love that. But in a series, it could be something different. So for instance, if you have a series where you have one book with characters A, B, and C, but then you have book 2 with characters E, D, and F, but there's overlap. The epilogue in the first book could bring in more of that.
It kind of sets up a jumping off point, sort of like a bridge.
Yeah.
Could you use it as a look back?
Yes.
Reflection, sort of.
In Red Snow, there's this one thing that to me is important to know, but it doesn't come out in the storyline. There's no way of bringing it out. So I wanted to take a look back, and my sister suggested, hey, why don't you write, another story, a whole other short story that kind of takes place before the whole story begins. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to write a whole other story. I could do that. But then I thought, well, when you said epilogue, I'm like, oh, maybe if I write it at the end and just, take kind of a flashback of that day when this one event happened so that the readers would kind of know the truth. But I don't know if it's important. But it's one of those things that's in my head and I know the truth, but I can't tell you.
Yeah, you can do that. What works for you works. And the reader will actually enjoy that. They get that bit extra and they enjoy that. I don't know anyone who doesn't read epilogues, but I know people who won't read prologues.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I don't know people usually, if they're invested far enough to get to an epilogue, they're gonna just chew through it because they're hungry for more story. It's the same kind of drive that you give that teaser to get them into the next book kind of thing. Mm-hmm. They want more from those characters or something like that.
Also, in science fiction, if you have a series, the epilogue of a book will usually it'll grab a couple plot threads in the story you were reading and show you that they're actually related, and that's a lead in for the next story. In mysteries, your epilogue could literally be the starting off point for the next book. It won't be the first book for the next book, but it'll be the starting point.
I don't know if I really want to make a whole other story afterwards. It's just kind of something to kind of close loose ends sort of thing, but not start anything new.
Yeah, and that's kind of, I think, a good purpose for an epilogue.
In Finding Private Ryan, the movie, I'm using the movie because I think I know everyone's seen it, or I'm assuming everyone's seen it. Everyone here? Yeah. So you have the opening, which is technically prologue, and then you have the ending, which is technically epilogue, which actually bracket the story in the middle. And I always thought, to me, those two brackets enrich the whole middle. So.
Yes.
Yeah, because in the beginning, I thought the old guy was Tom Hanks, and at the end, if I know it wasn't.
That's right.
Matt Damon. Yeah.
And and the way they did it, it enriches the story. Don't you stop up here. No, he's gone. Okay. That's Oscar, I think. Cats. Is there an age restriction on material that can be shown here?
I don't think so. I don't think we haven't really shown anything yet. What do you mean?
Oh, because Brendan, I'm going to hurt your eyes, am I?
Don't think so.
Okay.
I'm afraid.
We should be okay. I don't know how nudity works with these things, but we should be okay.
I always push this book. I'm going to keep pushing it. Building believable characters. by somebody. Can we see the somebody? Mac McClutch. What the heck? McClutchin. Yeah.
As we
This
only
is-
close to the screen.
This is still one of the books I do recommend for everybody with everything it has in it. I use it all the time. I really do recommend it.
Oh, I don't know if you need it again, but there's a link, everybody.
So you guys know I've been reading this book. You guys know that. Fight, right? It's his book, and I'm enjoying it. I'd read 2 other books on fighting, and so far this has been my favorite. But, and I blame Tanya for this, it's her fault. I went and got this, hence my question.
Words
that's
and
not so bad.
Phrases make
There's
your
no boobies in that picture or anything.
right, and I still have.
What's the title of that one? I can't read it.
Oh,
Read it with that.
make your sex scene sizzle. Words and
Ooh.
phrases. Oh, you have my book. I looked for that.
You lent it to me, but I haven't read it yet. Story
It's
of my
good.
life.
How to write a dirty story. Yeah,
Ooh.
it's good.
I will definitely be reading that once I get Red Snow out.
We were kind of talking about this a few weeks ago, I think. Words and phrases and how to not be repetitive.
Look at you
Yeah.
go. You're going to be a sex pro.
No, that wasn't the issue, but okay. Yeah, so this is just phrases and wording. And that's all that one is. This one is actually from published authors. It's actual, what do you call it?
Examples?
Yes, examples, exercises, and why something does or does not work. And regardless of what you think is going to work, it doesn't work. Like, for instance, adding pizza to a sex scene tends not to turn people on. Who knew?
I didn't think of some other things that don't turn.
What about a
people
pizza box with a hole in it?
Oh, no, afraid not.
on. What about things involving tampons?
Was that?
I said, what about things involving tampons?
If you're doing a fetish, sure, but otherwise, no.
I don't even know about that.
I was in high school and I was riding on the bus and I was wearing a tampon and
That is like, I don't know what it is. That's the thing in my mind that sticks in about 50 Shades of Grey is him trying to sexually pull out her tampons. Like, nope.
What?
In no universe
no.
is it pulling a tampon out sexy. I'm sorry.
I don't remember that. I read all the 50 Shades.
It's in the first one.
Is it?
I couldn't. I got
And
to
he
the
throws
second
it in the
chapter.
toilet. I'm like, no.
No. First off, he's just plugged the toilet. Number 2, yeah.
Is that when she's
So
sitting in a restaurant? Is that? Oh no, that's the balls. I mean the vibrating thing.
I think she's at her house or something. I don't know. Like, it's just really random. And it's like, why? I don't know. That's the scene in my mind with 50 Shades of Grey is tampon in the middle.
After the second, I never finished the second chapter. I'm sorry.
I made it through the first book. I gave it a chance. I made it all the way through.
I watched the movie. You give me points for
I
that.
didn't.
I read all of them.
I don't know. I've read so much sex books at this point. I couldn't. And I've read so much like erotica and like BDSM stuff. It's like, nah, I can't.
Well, there's one thing from her book you guys have to make note of, though. She ends every chapter with emotional danger. And that's something, if you're writing suspense, and I'm sorry, every book should have a bit of suspense. I don't care if it's Bob and his 3 little ducks, or if it's, some international spy thriller. Every book, you got to have suspense in it. You got to grab the reader, and she did that on every chapter.
Yep.
I just, to me, it was extremely obviously done, though. For me, it was like,
Yeah.
Okay,
there was a lot of things that were technically wrong with that series as a whole.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just one specific thing, and we're not
No.
trying to pick on it. I try not to talk about it because it's just.
I'm not picking on anyone who read it, enjoyed it, or who read it and didn't enjoy it. What I'm saying is, when you are reading a book, it's like when I used to really enjoy Jack Reacher novels, Lee Child. I love them. I still read them, But now well, it happens to everybody. I warned you guys I warned you, Brendan, when you started writing, it's going to happen to you. Once you step behind the curtain of how things are done, a lot of books lose their charm. And although I still enjoy reading the Jack Reacher novels, I don't read them anymore for their story, but I read them now just for their technical aspects, how he plays with his fight scenes and building tension, because I can see everything happening like boom, boom, boom. I've seen his, I don't want to call it a gimmick. I've seen his style. I have his pattern in my head. Does that make sense?
You see the formula.
I think.
Yes, I know his formula. And once you figure out the formula, it's like friends of mine. Orlando often doesn't watch a lot of movies because she'll watch a movie and go, oh, this is going to happen now, and they should have done it this way. Of course, that happens, right? Because she writes scripts. That's what she does.
I've definitely gotten in the hang of doing that on occasion. After listening to Story Grid podcast, they talk a lot about that because I think Sean Coyne did something. Somebody did something with script writing at one point. And it's like, oh yeah, there's the inciting incident. Oh, and there's that climactic event. And there's that. Oh no. I don't like where this is going.
Yeah.
Has anyone here watched The Mummy with Tom Cruise, a new one?
No.
No.
Okay, so I went and watched
myself to do it.
Don't bother. Okay, you expect something from a Tom Cruise movie. You expect a certain level of quality in the writing, in the photography, in the way it's filmed, and in the lushness of the quality of the film, right? You expect this. So, and I've also been forbidden from my husband to say things in theater, like, oh, this is the low movement. Oh, this is the turnaround. Oh, this is the inside. I'm not allowed to say that stuff anymore. Right? I'd be very quiet. No, like, nope, can't say, Anyway, so I'm watching the movie, and I was like, we've passed so many pages. You're past the first 15 minutes. Certain things are supposed to have happened by now. They haven't happened yet. And then suddenly we were at the end of the movie, and I was like, wow, they missed the whole middle part of the movie. They literally missed the middle part of the story. Cut it. Hello. Cut it out. I just saw him walk by. And people watched the movie and said, that doesn't feel like a Tom Cruise movie. That felt very strange. It was like, well, first off, there's a whole section of the movie missing. And people said, no, the viewer doesn't care about that. Oh, yes, they do. Although a lot of people will say the middle of the book is the boring part, it is not supposed to be the boring part. That's when you get to set fire to things and watch them burn down. That's when you get to blow stuff up. That's when you discover Frank's not really Donna's dad. Frank's actually Donna's cousin, or not even related, and he brought her on to 3 months old to save her. Like, you know what I mean? The middle is the exciting, where you ramp everything up, where you have all these threads from the beginning that you braid together or set fire to, And they simply had the beginning of the movie, then they had the end of the movie. They had no character development. They had all the things that should have happened after the first 15 minutes for the next 15 minutes to 20 minutes did not happen. They cut them out. And
because it was a Tom Cruise movie.
No.
Yeah. Because like Tom Cruise movies, it doesn't matter. He's in there, and people are going there to see Tom Cruise, not the movie itself.
And the
that was the studio's argument.
Because he's never failed to entertain me.
Yeah, that's what happened. He was mad too, because yes, the studio said, as far as they were concerned, the consumer was going to see Tom Cruise, not a good movie. Now, I agreed in Tom Cruise's response to that. His response was, no, they come to see a good movie because I'm in it and they expect to see a good movie. Does that make sense? And I was like, yeah, Tom, you let us down. Bad. Anyway. So, yeah, bad Tom. But
yeah, that I saw the trailer for it, and I just kind of, because I am horribly in love with Egypt, ancient Egypt, and the Mummy, and I obsessed over it when I was younger, and even the trailer broke my heart, and I can't even think about it right now. It just makes me so sad.
Yeah, and it's fair. It is. So apparently most of what they filmed, half of what they filmed never made it to a theater. And there will not be a director's release. So I'm the guy going, yeah, well, half of what you filmed was a freaking movie, people. Like,
well, so yeah, I don't know. People, I don't think realize how important setting certain things up are. And I hear that from a lot of people who watch, well, I mean, one thing I always think of is kind of Westworld and like shows that have these big arcs. Everyone always says that the middle one is always kind of like a slog, and they don't know there's lots going on, and it's not really that great. And it's like, well, it's because they're setting all the things up for the next season. They're tying things together, and it's just a whole bunch of soup that you just got to get through because it'll make the best part better.
That is again where emotional danger, you guys as writers, all of us, me especially, all of us, 'cause I'm trying to write lots of suspense, right? You have to ramp up the emotional danger for your characters. You have to. That danger is, how do I put this? That will have the reader turning pages. That was the thing for Mayor. What's her name? Who wrote the 50 Shades?
Oh man,
She wrote 50
Stephanie Meyer wrote Twilight, and that's the fan fiction was based off that.
Yes, but who wrote the actual 50 Shades? Come on, Tanya, who wrote 50 Shades?
I could go get the book, but it's downstairs.
No. Well, anyway, whoever wrote it, come on, somebody in the comments, tell me. The brain is shutting down here.
Why can't I find her? E.L. James?
Yes, thank you.
E.L.
Yes, she understood. And even though her grammar wasn't up to par, a lot of things she did wasn't up to par, and her use of a lot of the tools was very rough. Do you know what I mean? Like if you reread those books today, Tanya, with everything you've learned, you're going to go, oh, that was sloppy. Oh, I don't remember it being this rough. Oh, I don't. You will.
Yeah.
Obviously. And
don't do it if you don't want to ruin the book for yourself, though.
Yes, don't reread some books because I've gone back to read books that I really enjoyed when I was younger, only to say, oh, this wasn't that well written.
No.
Not that I look at it as I'm older.
I've tried to finish series that I started in high school that were
Yeah.
really good. I'm like, I can't, unfortunately, I cannot read young adult or YA very much because the reading comprehension is not at my level. And the sophistication of the characters themselves are not at my level, I guess you could say. I mean, I write about gods and people making weird moral decisions. A teenager trying to decide on a boy just ain't gonna do it for me while saving the world.
What do you need?
Yeah, but you noticed it, right? You noticed how there's this lack of. It's like musicians loving jazz, right? Musicians listen to jazz, and we're like, is that even music you're listening to? Well, I am like that. Maybe Brendan is more sophisticated, but I'm not. Because you had that look, Brendan, you had that smirk. Like, But no, jazz is music for musicians. The way it's played, the way they have those sessions, and the way they play with tone and different things. It's like, okay, I'm going to make an argument against what I just said. Literary writing up the ivory tower should be writing for writers, but for some reason it isn't.
It's writing for its own. I mean, all the genres are writing for your own demographic, I guess. Like, and that's why I try not to be too hard on young adult. While I realize that I've outgrown the genre, there are people who really like it, and I mean, all the power to them. You do have to write for your genre. I mean, you're writing for a young adult audience, so it should be more at that level of the world's going to end if I don't get asked to prom by this one dude while I save the world. Well, it doesn't matter that the world's going to end. No, this dude's not going to go to prom with me.
But thanks to those new adult writers or young adult writers, we now have new adult, right? We have that new genre. And I love the fact that you're now allowed to take a lot more chances there. For some reason, we've had several years of safe writing for people.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the deal is with that.
Yeah, and I don't like that. If you're reading a book, it should be scary. It should be, you should be grabbed by your emotional, you know what's, and it's me. Like, come on. It's well, okay. I write to entertain, not to educate, not to whatever. I write to entertain. I want you having fun. I want you in the story. I want you to high, lows. I want you to come out of that story going, oh God, I need to rest now. That was so emotionally everywhere. That's what I want. Yeah, I know. But why do you guys write? Why do you write?
I write because there are stories in a universe that need to be told, I guess would be the best way to put it. Characters need their voices heard, kind of thing. So yeah, I guess I write for entertainment as well. A little bit education. I mean, I like to be realistic, so there's some education in that since I write about history, and it kind of goes hand in hand.
Mm-hmm. Brendan?
Go ahead. Do I write? I think I write to like get stuff up on page to center myself. And I think I have a lot of stuff that I could think to share to people. Go ahead, Tanya.
Oh, passing the baton.
Yeah, no, for myself, I just really enjoy living the story and creating the worlds and just like writing as though I'm living it myself. Like I'm one of those characters. It's like giving you that opportunity to live a completely different life and be a completely different person in a different world somewhere. And just, I enjoy the process, I guess.
Well, and I think that's a good thing to ask yourself, especially when you've got imposter syndrome, and like, because I know I'm not the only one that gets it, but I definitely get imposter syndrome where it's like, wait, what am I even bothering with this half the time? But it's good to kind of realign yourself with what you're doing and don't take things too seriously sometimes.
Yeah, enjoy the process.
Yeah.
If it becomes completely 100% work, then you kind of get sick of it, or you get tired of it, or you need a break from it, or you need space. But if you just get into it and focus on what am I going to get out of this personally, it's not just about the readers, and it's not just about making the money and that, but what is it that you want out of it, and how do you want to, and what do you enjoy the most about it?
Well, I'm nodding because I'm not thinking others are imposters, but I'm thinking I am. So that's why I'm nodding, going, oh, yes, I'm the imposter. Because I feel like, I don't know. If I was so good at this, why don't I have a 5-book deal? Right?
Yeah. I was definitely thinking something along the lines of that the other day when I was kind of going through and publishing Revival Debriefs. I'm like, why am I... And I was listening to someone talk about short stories the other day where they don't sell a whole lot. And it's like, well, sure, take them down, repackage them. I mean, keep trying. You have nothing to lose at that point, but it kind of makes you wonder, like, what am I even doing if no one's buying it and reading my stuff?
Well, I think the heydays of the 80s are gone with the advent of the internet, because like now you can disperse them any way you want.
Well, and I think with that, there's also volume. There's more people publishing in general, so it's harder to kind of... Doesn't matter if you're one of the greatest artists of all time, if no one can find your work, then... So don't give up on yourself. Keep on keeping on.
Yeah. Endeavor to persevere. Yeah.
Keep submitting. I mean, at the end of the day, keep submitting, keep doing stuff like that, because you don't get anywhere by not doing those things and by giving up.
I haven't done any of that. The only thing I submit to is voices, and then that one thing, the tomato slices, and honestly, I have not submitted anything in years.
Well, then you should have a look at the few things that you could submit to on Literarium and the Submission Grinder. And there's also this handy dandy contest at the Lake Winnipeg Writers Group website right now that if you are looking for something to do during your quarantine, you can do that as well. I'm just getting a link. My internet's slow.
Horrortree.com. What about horrortree.com?
There's the link for the contest. Horrortree.com. I've never heard of that.
That is fantastic site. It comes every Friday, but I haven't seen it in over a month, so I have probably filled my inbox there once I get there. Anyway, horrortree.com. It's fantastic. You can go there, and it has listings, market listings for both horror, supernatural, mysteries, and different things.
There's another one. Authors. Let me see if I can find it. I am also subscribed to a listing as well. I think it's Authors Publish magazine. So pull
Okay.
up. There's Horror Tree. There's the link on screen for everybody as well for that online listing and kind of call for submission for. That's a bit more specific for genre, right?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Mostly it's horror, but there is a bunch of mystery and small presses that are connected to Horror Tree that publish other stuff, other genre fiction, which I like. So
I'll have to check that out, I guess, then. And then I've also got, there's Authors Publish. They send out, it's good to sign up for their newsletter. I have signed up for that, and that it basically just sends you kind of calls for submission every few days, once a week, something like that. I don't know, it pops into my email inbox, and it doesn't seem like spam. That's kind of how I found Black Hair Publishing. Published through them. I would definitely recommend checking them out too. They seem to have lots of really neat anthologies and stuff like that.
So they have like for different lengths as well. So novelettes, novellas, novels, short stories.
Yep.
Anthologies.
Yeah, all sorts of different lengths and stuff. So definitely sign up for those to get those newsletters and stuff. So that's Author Publish, and Horror Tree again. And that one's more geared towards horror, but I'm sure there's all sorts of stuff that pops up.
Yeah, if you go in their submission thing, they have a thing for short stories, novels, or anthologies. And then they have publishers, small and medium-sized presses looking for writers or stories. And they range from pretty much all genre fiction. I've only seen horror erotica. I haven't seen straight erotica, but I have seen love, like romance, and I have seen mystery, and I have seen fantasy as well as science fiction.
Oh, so they've got all sorts of stuff then.
Yeah, that just pops up in there if you're looking for novel and or anthologies. So
neat. I will have to check them out too. Get some stuff. I gotta write some stuff, some more shorter stories and stuff that I can submit to stuff like that. On top of eventually getting this novel sorted out. I'm going to try the Save the Cat stuff. I don't know. Listening to the audiobook, it gave me some ideas. So I think I might try and do the worksheet and plot it out a little bit and see if I can't unconstipate myself creatively.
yeah, same here. Yeah, I keep saying,
way to describe it.
this morning I sent Curtis to the basement, and he laughs and he says to me, it's only 6 feet, not a whole nother floor. I'm like, go down there. Quiet time. Go away. Poor man. But so I'm working full time now, Monday to Friday. Well, not full time. It's Canada Post. No one works full time.
Yeah.
But Monday to Friday, split shifts until this thing is resolved. Apparently, I'm inclined to work.
So did you check the mail?
Do I touch the mail? Oh,
Did you check the mail?
Oh, our mail? No, I've yet to leave the house. I was fighting with this thing.
Okay.
Tomorrow. Their store has really weird hours right now, the Matlock store. And on my phone, they've been closed. And I was sending the boy, but I thought I'd phone first. So that was good because it was closed earlier. Oh, I'm in my housework clothes and stuff. So I was like, I'll change before it won't be. Then I thought, well, it's not like people seeing me, but of course it is.
I wouldn't even have noticed. I mean, I'm kind of in housework stuff too. I don't know. I'm in lazy day clothes. I put makeup on today. I only put makeup on for the streams these days.
Brenda, you put your makeup on? No?
I had a shower.
Hey!
But no makeup, right?
No.
That was the weirdest thing. The first time I met Don Forfar, he had makeup on because he had gone and had a picture taken for promote his running for mayor or something. And so the first time, or he was running for something, it was years and years ago. I'm like, this man's wearing makeup. He had completely forgotten it was on. So yeah, he was so embarrassed afterwards. I was like, that's something I'm going to put in a story. I'm going to go get a professional photo, like a proper headshot done. And of course, they put a little bit of makeup on them to make them look good and have them forget about it and leave. I thought it'd be great.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's kind of like, huh.
He'd be a made man.
Yeah. So I got my newest, is this a new one? Yeah, I got my April Writer's Digest.
Oh, nice.
Small press issue. Long finger. This way. I don't know. Anyway, small press issue. So it's, I haven't looked at it yet. That's bad, isn't it? I've had it for a week and a half. I've just been too crazy.
Reading them sometimes I set them aside if the topic seems like I'm not ready for it. I guess is the best way to put it. There's one or two that it's like, oh, I'm definitely not at that stage in my writing career to be reading a lot of this stuff. So I'll just set it aside. I've actually been reading it through the library app a lot of the time.
Excellent.
So I like to support my local library as much as possible. So I have been using the different apps. I don't even know. I can't even remember now which one that goes through. There's Libby and all sorts of other stuff for the.
Have you considered putting any of your stuff in the Selkirk library, like your ebook stuff, your short stories?
The way that works is someone has to request your book. So if someone wants to go and request my book, feel free to go and request it, because then people can read it. I don't know how that 100% works, because I'm assuming that I can't. I don't think they will let me request my own book. I feel like they're going to see the name on my account, be like, yeah, no, that's not how that works. Because it does cost them money to buy those books, and it is a little bit more than average, which I find that so backwards. But I guess because it's a lot of people reading it. But I don't know. I'm also like, support your local library. So, but apparently, I've heard, this is a self-publishing tip. If you're publishing ebooks and stuff, if you have a lower priced ebook on the library markets, you are less likely to sell books to libraries because they assume that your book is shit and they won't buy it.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So
yeah, a lot of them won't even look at a book for their library if it hasn't gone through a Kirkness review.
Yeah. So yeah, if people request it, I'm sure it's probably more than one person requesting it for the ebook stuff, but bug your friends and family to request your stuff, and I guess after a while it gets in. So go and request Revival Debriefed if you're watching this and you want to read it. There's also, I don't know if you did, I'm assuming you did Overdrive and stuff for your ebook, Tanya.
Overdrive?
Yeah.
I did not.
I don't know, Draft to Digital, kind of, that's one of the, you just check a box and it just goes to it. So I'm Revival Debriefed is it's supposed to be in all the library systems for ebooks. So if you would like it, go ahead and request it.
Nice.
And I don't know how that works 100% because I haven't done it. No, I think I've done it once, maybe. But
Tyra, how do you spell Kirkness Review?
KIRKNESS review. Kirkness review. That's right? That is correct. Is that not?
I'm not sure.
How do you request one?
But I don't know.
You got to pay for them. Kirkness review is their.
It's like a listing, isn't it?
It comes out as a listing. Yes, you can request you can have your review done of your novel or book or whatever, and then you can request that you get the results. They do not adjust. It's a set price for whatever it is set, and the average fee I believe is $400, but I'm not sure on that for novels. It's about $400.
And I think that's for the physical copies. I don't know how that applies to ebooks because at this point you just submit and people can just request stuff.
Yeah.
So I will.
Okay, so one of the publishers in here is Black Rose Writing. Black Rose
Writing?
You can't see that. Never mind. Okay. It's from Castroville, Texas. BlackRoseWriting.com. And they are seeking manuscripts. 1 second. This was the one once. Mainstream genres those that don't fit anywhere, plus mainstream genres like thrillers, mysteries, fantasies, and romance are also in demand.
Interesting.
They do publish a small amount of nonfiction, but only a small amount. They do not want poetry nor children's books. But most of the stuff they publish, we are looking for original stories. Some of the best manuscripts may not always fit perfectly with one target audience, but it's a welcome challenge to find the right niche market for those stories that deliver a powerful message and great storyline. So,
Well, I'll have to check that out maybe. Oh, I don't really have anything that's super.
So when you say children's books, you mean like does that include young adult or no?
1 second. I'd almost have to go to their website and look. I haven't actually gone and looked yet. I just got happy that they.
I'm here on their website. It says fiction continued. I see new adult / coming of age, and then young adult as well. So it does look like that you can submit that.
Yeah, you could submit your story, Brenda, because you have coming of age and yeah. So, yeah, and yeah. Anyways, I just thought.
Interesting. Their website says children's book with full illustrations only. So.
Oh, I didn't say that here.
So, wow. I don't know. Maybe they updated it since then. Maybe
yes, this would have been. Yeah, this would have been 2 months ago. Even though it came out for this month, it would have been.
Mm-hmm. So maybe they've just expanded it a bit on their website. So that's why it's always good to double check websites as well. Oh, Tanya.
Yes. Oh, I got moved. I
was like, where did I go? I was like, okay.
Trynda, I
can do this handy thing where I just kind of remove people. It's all good. We were just talking about this place called Black Rose Writing. That is actually your stuff might kind of be good for that too, Tanya.
Black Rose. Yeah, you have to put that blackrosewriting.com.
Put it back up. There we go.
It's funny because like Blue Rose is like my it's like my thing is Blue Rose. Black Rose already exists. Damn it.
You gotta jump on that stuff when you've got the chance to.
Yes.
Well, I guess we should probably wrap up here. We have gone on for quite a while. We can always hang out afterwards and chat a little bit more. But for now, I'll wrap the live stream up there since we've gone on. I didn't realize we've gone on for so long. It's been a while to talk to you guys. I don't talk to people very much anymore.
You're alive. You're up there.
So nice to hear voices that aren't inside my head for once. Alrighty. Well, I guess we will go around and reintroduce ourselves and say if there's anything kind of going on with us. And I'll start with me and I'll kick it to Brendan again. I am Trynda Adair. You can find me on all sorts of social media. I'm kind of everywhere at Trynda E. Adair. I recently put out Revival Debrief. So if you're looking for a collection of post-apocalyptic fiction, that's a good one to go check out. It's on Amazon and at your library and basically everywhere that you can find ebooks, hopefully. Maybe on Google Play at some point. My account's still under review, so we'll see. And I'll toss over to Brendan and let you kind of talk about yourself a little bit.
Okay. I submitted to the Writer's Digest self-publishing contest. And still working on the find. I'm hoping to have that sent into some publishing or contest end of the month. And I'm also studying Red River, the technical writing course. I finished 2 modules so far. One was the technical communications level 1 and editing for I think it was like basic English.
Cool.
And the next one starting up, I think in May, will be the manual writing and design course. I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping I can use some of the page layout skills I've learned. And that what does it for me.
We'll go to Tanya, and we'll do Tyra last, I guess. Save the best for last.
Right. So I do have a writer's Facebook page, Tanya Stephenson -writer. And I also have published my first ebook, Red Leaves, back in March. And yay, I've made 5 or 6 sales so far. Yay. Anyways. Yes, so Red Leaves, and I'm currently working on Red Snow, which hopefully will be published within the next month or sooner. Otherwise, feel free to like my Facebook page.
There you go. There you go. I'm on the ball. It's on the screen. All right.
Me. I'm Tyra. Master Heinrichs. I usually publish under either T Masters or TM Heinrichs, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
You've got a Facebook page, I think.
I have a Facebook page. Yeah, I do.
I'm looking for the link here.
Yeah, I have one of those, and I have a website which I haven't gone to. And please don't go to my website, please. No.
One day we will give it some TLC.
Yeah, or burn it down. One of the two.
I mean, that's part of the TLC. You didn't hear about all the fires with the Lake Winnipeg Writers Group, but they burnt it down and built it back up after.
Yes, but it's beautiful now. It's beautiful. Yeah, I'm a genre writer.
We will make all of them beautiful one day. So yeah, go and check out our Facebook pages or Twitter or Instagram, where we are, if we exist on those places. Some people do, some people don't. And for now, we will call it there. We will see you guys next week. Happy writing and stay sane. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.